Hey everybody, Chad, nobody else's auto. Looks like we actually connected on time tonight. That's kind of weird. YouTube actually hit the first time. Been really fighting that here lately, but this time it went right in. Last week it took almost 10 minutes to get it to connect. But looks like we're good to go. Looks like we're live on Facebook and YouTube. They both went in at the same time on the first click. Not really sure what to do now because usually I had like another 5 or 10 minutes of trying to get this thing to connect before we went live. But anyway, it's working. We're here. Glenn's here, ready to go. Jim is on. Gary's here. Kevin Brown. Neil's here, ready to go. Kevin L. Pappy made it. There's Balin Wire. Outcast is on. John Sanderson, glad you guys are all here and ready to go. Saw Outcast today at the auction. Ran back over today to check out a few things. Didn't buy anything else, but I did run over. So anyway, Alex here with us on Facebook. Brian Dispatch, Cream City Pete, Jeff from Ottawa. Glad you guys all made it here and ready to go tonight. Pete's here. So obviously the biggest thing that happened was the gathering of the nobodies this weekend. So we'll get into that here in just a second. Real quick, let's get the housekeeping out of the way like we always try to do. Autocorrect, please double check your comment before you hit send, just in case autocorrect changes it to something I can't understand. If I can't understand it, I have to skip it. I try to catch most comments, but occasionally I do miss a few. But if I can't understand it, I have to skip it. We do occasionally get trolls on here. We put a few things in step that have a few things in place that have helped manage that. But occasionally they do still sneak on here. But you guys do a great job of running them off, letting them know they're not welcome. Ads, unfortunately, we are dealing with ads. It's their problem. Nothing, not much we can do about that. If you're on the Nobody Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel if you want to comment or participate in the auctions or anything. If you just want to hang out there and watch, you're perfectly good. And we've got the Supercharged Super Chat badge. We're ready, fired up, and ready to go for any Super Chats that happen to pop up. So anyway, big jobs here. Austin made it. David W. Dad's on with us as well. So looks like everything is ready to move forward. So let's go ahead and get into the weekend, the gathering of the nobodies. Let's have a Hudson badge before we get too wound up about it. Oh, I just bumped something on Facebook. Hold on. What did I do? Oh, crap. Hold on. I just bumped something on Facebook, so let me see if I can get this straightened out here real quick. Randy with the Nut Farm. Hey, there's Kenny. Man from the farms here. Jason Bradshaw still on the way back from Pate. So anyway, David W. Okay, I think I got my screen squared back up on Facebook. You can't hear me, Alec, or you can hear me? Do we have audio issues again on Facebook? I mean, everything started off too easy, so I'm sure something's wrong. Anyway, obviously the gathering of nobodies this weekend. A lot of you guys made it. It was awesome. Had a great time. And we'll do a quick rundown for everybody that wasn't here. It was an interesting weekend, to say the least. Okay, perfect, Alec. I was starting to wonder with the audio issues that we've had on Facebook. But first thing that started right out of the gate on Thursday, Bill Disk did not make it. He had flights booked. He was ready to come, had everything ready to go, and was on the way to the airport, and his mom's car blew up. So... okay, sounds good, Alec. He threw me off there for a second. I'm so used to it not working that it kind of screwed me up. So, unfortunately, Bill did not make it. So that was the first thing. Rico and Jess came in Thursday night. Rico, hey, there's Tractor Mike. Rico had a minor detail on the way down Thursday night. He lost his brakes. Kind of somewhat important going down the highway. Hey, Scott made it. So yeah, Rico lost brakes on the way down Thursday night. So first thing Friday morning, as I've been telling you guys, at my shop, I've literally been backing in and throwing loads out. So hey, there's Brett. Where are you at tonight, Brett? And so my shop's a wreck, and Rico has to get on the lift because, brakes are kind of handy. So we shove everything out of the way, get Rico's navigator up on the lift, and found a brake line that had corroded and rubbed through. So he's Brett out running in Albuquerque tonight. So then he had to do a brake line repair. Fortunately, we got into the shop and he got the brake line repaired. We got out to the yard. Rico and Jess and Mark and Kevin all helped get things ready Friday morning, going into early afternoon on Friday. So we got everything set up and ready, and we did have a slight change of plans. I know some of you saw the short. It ended up working out. I didn't know if this was going to come together or not. That's why we hadn't talked about it yet. Our good friends at Car Auction and Real Estate, Jim and Chris Froschner, the guys that I do F&E Collector Auto Auctions with, they had a big auction, big, huge 2-day consignment auction this weekend. Well, they had some cans and some grease caps and some hubcaps and some license plates and some things like that. So they kind of got that, that ended up being a couple of the first few trailers that they were selling. So a group of us headed over to Larned, Kansas, about 20 miles west of here, first thing Saturday morning. Or that was the plan, at least, was to head over first thing Saturday morning. I got ready to head down to the shop like at 6:15, 6:30 Friday morning. And I had a tire that was almost completely flat. It was only about half flat. I managed to just drive slow and got it to the shop and had a bolt in my tire. So Friday morning or Saturday morning at 6:45, before we headed to the auction, I'm in there trying to patch a tire. Fortunately, I think that was the last vehicle issue we had. Hopefully none of you guys had any trouble going home. But it was interesting, to say the least. But Friday night, we all got to the brewery, had a great time. We had a bunch of Flatlanders pizza. That's right, Pappy. It was only only the bottom. That's right. Alan's with us on Facebook tonight. Glad Alan's here. So we did make it over to the auction. Auburn badge. Just a lot of gas stops. I bet so, Pete. That's a lot of miles you guys covered. And so we got to the auction Saturday morning, and I think about everybody that went got something. I got some grease caps. Mark got one box of grease caps. I thought Kevin got some hubcaps. Pete got some cans. I don't remember what you got, Austin, but I think about everybody that went ended up getting something that morning. And then we got out of there. Most of us got out of there. I left like a little after 9 to get headed back. And then a lot of you guys left sometime around when I did, maybe a little later, except Balin Wire. That was like a dream auction for Balin Wire. Not only did they have the stuff we like, they had tractor stuff, tractor seats, old tools, all the type of stuff you see on Balin Wire's channel. They had trailer after trailer after trailer. I didn't know if we were going to see Balin Wire again. I thought we may have just lost him to the auction. I didn't know if he was even going to show up at the yard or for lunch or anything else. So, okay, Austin got some Skelly cans. Good. I thought about everybody. I thought everybody that went got something. So that was great. So yeah, but Balin Wire did actually make it back right towards the end of lunch with a full truck. He filled his whole pickup up. Hey, there's Ryan with us on Facebook. So Balin Wire had a heck of an auction. But I thought, like I said, I didn't know for sure if it was going to work out. That's why we hadn't talked about it until everybody got here on Friday. But it worked out well. Everybody had some fun. We got to go to a real auction. Hey, there's Dennis. Pete had a good time. I think everybody had fun. Those guys do a great job. They keep it moving. You got to be paying attention because they keep it moving. But, man, they had a ton of stuff to move this weekend. But everybody, like I said, everybody had fun and everybody ended up with something. And it was raining that morning anyway. Hey, there's Matt. So it worked out great. Yeah, I know. If Balin Wire didn't have to be back today, I know he would have been back over at the auction. I guarantee it. We honestly thought he was going to have to go back and buy one of the semis because we thought he was going to run out of room. So I thought, well, Balin Wire, I'm going to have to go back today and buy a semi to get all this stuff home because he had a heck of a load on. So anyway, it was a great time. And like I said, it was raining anyway. So that, I was back to the yard before 10. Dad and Rico were already out there by then. And then, as everybody kind of started working their way back in, 10, 10:30, quarter 11, it was still raining. However, my good friend Mark, who did the lunch last year, he showed up at about 11:30 with some trays full of smoked brisket, beans, cream corn, and mac and cheese. So even though it was still raining at that point, nobody really cared there for a little while because we all got to stuff our faces with fresh smoked brats, or not brats, Big Job smoking brats, brisket, huge trays, heaping trays of smoked brisket with the beans, the corn, and the mac and cheese. So it, yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. He outdid himself. It was some tasty food. And you guys, if we can get him to do it next year, maybe some more of you guys can get out here and experience it because, man, it was good. So he does a heck of a job. It's a hobby for him. He enjoys doing it. Fortunately, he likes us enough to do it for us. So, that's where a lot of your guys' $20 went to, is going to go. I've got to get him paid this week for that, as well as you guys that were here this morning for all of the breakfast burritos. Those are some pretty tasty breakfast burritos as well. Yeah, I noticed Luke was making the rounds for whatever he could get a hold of. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't hear one complaint about any of the food from anybody for any reason. Burritos rule. Hudson Badge. So, yeah, I said it's the food just did a heck of a job. I mean, like I said, fortunately he likes us and he's willing to do it for us because it's a win. But the good part about it is about the time that about the time we got done for lunch is when the rain was stopping. So that worked out great. That way everybody got out into the yard, got to spend a little time checking things out, wandering around. And like I said, had a great time. It was a little soft. There's Tim. So, boots were handy. But other than that, at least it wasn't raining. It wasn't snowing. And everybody had a few hours to go out and hang out at the yard. Mark got a few emblems. One of Pete's buddies got a few pieces of trim. Balin Wire found a few things. So we got all that stuff rounded up. And got that stuff off. And then, of course, headed back to town to my shops and then out to Dad's shops, which by then, I think by the time we got done at Dad's, it was already 6 o'clock. So it was a full afternoon for everybody. Awesome, Pete. Glad you had fun. Pete was definitely the Cream City Pete, definitely the tallest dude that was here. No doubt about that. Pete left without buying anything other than the pallet we had to load of auction purchases from the last 6 months. But I guess you didn't technically buy anything new today. So, but we just about did have to get the forklift out to load the pallet of the last 6 months worth of auction purchases. Hey, Steve. Yeah, that's right, Jason. Pete was the man. Those guys put a lot of miles on this weekend. But I'm just glad everybody had fun. That's what's important, is to have a good time. We did a bunch of raffle prizes. Rico had some custom-made pieces. However, Rico did some custom pieces. He did a long-distance award this year once again. And he also made another custom Nobody's trophies, did some amazing jobs. So for the custom pieces that Rico did, we put everybody had one entry into a can for those pieces. And once again, just like last year, I'm not sure how this happened. And they might get that's right, Austin. They might get banned next year. I don't know. Once again, very first name out of the can, McCoy. I don't know how that happens. Same thing last year. But so I don't know. Hopefully you guys don't banish Austin from the group, but 3,200 miles, that's a lot of boogieing, Pete. So, yep, Austin was, and then that was the first name out of the can for the custom built Rico Awards. Then when we got into the regular raffles, were you the first one out of there, Austin, as well, I think? First or second? You were the first or second name out of that in the regular raffles. So I hope Austin stopped at a casino on the way home or something, because that's 2 years in a row they cleaned up with a couple of the better prizes right out of the gate. Second. So that's right. And then to top it off, we're at the brewery last night. My buddy Ryan at the brewery, he found an extra t-shirt. He said, hey, does this t-shirt fit anybody? Well, Austin's the only person that fits. So then he gets a free t-shirt too. So, yep, it, like I said, I hope Austin went to a casino and put 100 on red or something. I don't know, because they had a heck of a weekend. But it was fun. And, and that's what matters. And of course, I assume everybody was being honest with me when they told me they had a good time. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't tell me they had a crappy time, but I hope they would, if just in case we need to make it better. So it overall sounds like it. Everybody had a blast, and it was awesome that Cream City Pete and his guys did make it after all those miles. They did make it here right before lunch. It worked out perfect, and I got to hang out for the afternoon before they had to keep rolling. But it worked out great. We had a ton of fun. Now, just like last year, hey, there's Leo. Pete's wife really hooked us up. Hudson Badge. Pete and his wife, Carrie, did some amazing stuff for us. He had all this ready when he got here. I can't thank him enough for helping us out. Everybody had one of these bags ready when they signed in. So I'm going to share this with you, give them 100% credit. Just, Rico helped out tremendously by doing those custom awards, which was awesome. And Pete had all this stuff ready for us. That's what makes this thing tick, is all that help and extra effort. Kevin Brown and Mark Kirk were here early to help get set up. Same with Rico and Jess, plus Rico making the trophies. Carrie and Pete getting this other stuff ready for us. That's what makes this event so great. And I understand, Tim, the timing is tough. There is no good weekend at this point in the year. Obviously, the weather almost bit us again this year. Fortunately, the rain did stop. And it was overcast, but after about 12:30 or 1, it was dry the rest of the day. We had the whole afternoon. Hey, there's Travis. I didn't even think about you being in town tonight, Kenny, about having you stop by. I didn't even think about that till just a little bit ago, so I apologize for that. I didn't know if you wanted to stop by tonight or not, Kenny, but that was my bad. Dan from Defiance is here. So let's go ahead and dig through and share with you guys what Carrie and Pete did for us. They did name tags. Hey, there's Billy Bowman. I apologize, Kenny. I just didn't even think about it till it was too late. So had name tags with your handle, so we knew who you were on YouTube, as well as your regular name, which was great. They had these super killer stickers made for everybody. Hey, there's the Rusty Okie. Andy made it. These little wooden engraved refrigerator magnets, these are cool. Hey, that sounds productive. Big job. Nothing wrong with that. As well as official I Am a Nobody bumper stickers. Hey, there goes the hearts. The hearts are great. So huge shout out to them, as well as everybody had their door prize entry in those packets. There goes the hearts. Awesome. So yeah, and they did that all for us. It was amazing. You know, a huge shout out to them for helping out with that. Yeah, lots of comments on that. It's great. They did an amazing job on it. Can't thank them enough for their support and help in keeping this thing put together, as well as Pete managing the email list and keeping this thing on the rails like he has for us. And one other thing that we did do that I'm sure you guys want to see. Hey, Totally VW. We did do another can. We did do another can specifically for the members of the gathering, the second annual gathering of the Nobodies. My good friend Michael Jones, Gasoline Alley Classics. Be sure to check him out. Sapulpa, Oklahoma, right off Route 66. Does tons of cool gearhead type stuff. So be sure to check him out online, or if you're going running Route 66 or down by Tulsa, swing into Sapulpa and see Michael. He's a huge supporter of what we do. And, his low-fat milk truck came from the yard. So excited about that, excited about these pieces. Once again, he knocked it out of the park on these cans. These are a vinyl wrap. These are an actual 1-quart metal oil can. Had the logo on the side of it again. He does have a ton of cool shirts as well. This year, the cans, we talked about what to do. Addie picked out what she wanted to do on the cans this year. And how many of you guys remember the 58 Buick? Hey, there's Tony. Michael's with us. Kenny P's mom stopping by. Sweet. Glad Kenny P's mom's on with us. If you guys remember last fall, we did a video on Dad's 58 Buick. I would assume, if you don't know if you guys saw that video or not, let me know if you guys saw it. Remember the video on Dad's silver blue 58 Buick. We talked about the hey, there's Jesse stopping by. We talked about the 58 Buick. It had been in storage for years. Dad just got it out, got it back on the road, and him and Jay got it running, going, got the brakes up and fuel system done and everything. Hey, look at that. Uh-oh, look at that. Supercharged Super Chat. Thanks to Brett. Supercharged Super Chat. There we go. Boom, right there. Look at that. That's what happens when you hit us with a Super Chat. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that. The 1935-1936 Auburn Boat Tail Speedster original supercharged hood badge. This is an original from our friends at Auburn Cord Duesenberg. Well worthy of anybody throwing Super Chats out there, helping us out with the live and what we do here. There goes the hearts. Awesome. Thanks, Brett. Lots of thumbs up. Appreciate it. Boom. Let's go. Oh, that sounds interesting. Big job. So anyway, the 58 Buick that Dad had that we did the video on. If you guys remember the story on that car, Dad bought that car for my grandpa in like 76. It was basically about a 20-year-old used car. And they kind of fixed it up because my grandpa wanted an old car at that time, which is kind of crazy to think that would be like doing that to like an 05 car today. Mike from Texas is here with us. And then my dad ended up buying it from my grandpa. Well, my grandpa had that car. They also bought a 58 Pontiac that was wrecked and needed a front fender and front bumper stuff put on it. And so they fixed up the Pontiac, and that was the car that my grandma drove to car shows when the grandpa took the 58 Buick. And then they also ended up with a 58 Cadillac as well. Well, when I was a kid, I bought the 58 Pontiac from my grandma. At that point, Dad already had the 58 Buick. So this year, we were talking about can designs and what to do. and how we wanted to do them. Obviously, you guys remember this was last year's can with the regular logo on it. So this year, Addie and I talked about it, and I said, what do you want to do? And she said, let's do the 58s. So we've got the 58 Buick on one side. There's Buick Man right there. The car from the 3/4 back shot with the nose of the car in the ghost area up here behind the logo. Hey, there's Dirty. So we've got the 58 Buick on one side and the 58 Pontiac on the other, 3/4 front on the Pontiac with the ghost image behind the logo as well on the Pontiac. So yeah, they knocked the cans out of the park for the attendees this year to the second annual gathering of the Nobodies. So glad you like it, Kenny. So kind of a cool piece. Like I said, I like to do something special for it. Hey, that's always good, Buick Man. Glad you're making headway there. But like I said, check out Michael Jones, Gasoline Alley Classics. He does a lot of cool stuff there. The building is amazing. We've done some videos at the building while we were there. You can go back and check that out while it was in process. And neat place. Any of you guys would definitely enjoy it. So anyway, this morning, everybody came down. The guys that were still here, some people had to blow out last night, but the guys that were still here stopped by this morning. And Mark had all those breakfast burritos ready. And by about 8 o'clock, everybody was out of there. How much Newell stock of those cans you got? Ordered just a batch for this gathering was all I ordered. So everybody was out here. I think Balin Wire got out of here about 10 after 8, and he was the last one. So everybody was on the road at a good time this morning. I hope everybody had safe travels home and had a great weekend. I did run back over the auction today, but I didn't buy anything. I just paid my bill from yesterday because I had a buddy of mine. I left my number with a buddy of mine. He bought a few more things for me yesterday. So overall, I hope everybody had a great time. I had a great time. I am tired. I am not going to lie. I am whipped. I'm kind of wired back up to get through some of this, but I did put together about half an episode tonight. I didn't do a magazine. I didn't do story time. We've got a promo model. We've got some emblems, cap brochure. If you guys want to do auction stuff, I did get a few things ready today, and there's still a bunch of other stuff in the box. Just take a minute to sort through some of that stuff if you guys decide you want to do some auction stuff as well. So we'll see how things go. If you've got questions or anything about what happened this weekend, just throw them up there. Obviously, a lot of us are on. Rained all the way back on Saturday for Glenn. I left the sale and I was still bidding. You were still bidding against me. I think all I bought were a couple cans and some windshield frames. That's all I bought. So that's right, Alan. That actually was a Model T assembly plant. They would ship the Model Ts in on crates and then assemble them there and then sell them there. So yeah, which is another awesome aspect of that building is the history of the Ford Model T assembly plant and dealership that was in there. In fact, I think it was a dealership for years, even after they quit assembling the Model Ts in there. But that's a good point, Alan, which is another amazing part about the building. Put up some plates and take a 90-second nap. Pete needs auction stuff because he didn't get anything. Heard you may be on a podcast Wednesday. There is a possibility of that, Neil. Not haven't heard for anything out of Chad lately, but that is a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Oh, you're okay. We were both bidding on the cans. Okay, so obviously lots of people excited about auctions. But yes, Bang Shift, our good friend Chad Reynolds. If you notice when Neil makes comments about the other Chad, that is our good friend Chad Reynolds with Bang Shift. We've been talking about doing his podcast for about the last month. So we are going to, sweet, Neil might be on there as well. So keep that in mind, guys. Wednesday night, Bang Shift, the Bang Shift channel. So it looks like maybe me and Neil will both be on the Bang Shift podcast Wednesday night. So keep that in mind, guys. Let's see. Where are we at here? I don't have any power seat motors. I knew it'd be good, Buick, man. That I'd probably just send that in and have it rebuilt. You can probably just do an exchange on them, I bet. So be sure to check that out. I'll try to, if it all goes through and we get it all put together, I'll try to remember to throw up a post a little ahead of time Wednesday if any of you guys want to jump on. So, oh, the Jefferson swap meet. Okay, I was trying to keep up with the Cream City Pete. That was the Jefferson swap meet you were talking about. Yeah, we missed you, Alan, this year. I know last year you made it up for a little bit, but I was thinking about you the other day that you weren't able to make it this year. I did shoot a bunch of clips. I shot clips at the auction. We shot some stuff at the yard yesterday. I did a short from the auction. We did a live yesterday while we were doing the drawings. So you can check that out. I did have Shayla shoot some clips of the drawings. We didn't get it all, but I've got some clips from the drawings as well. So we'll get some of that put together. So we do have a little bit of a snapshot of the weekend, and maybe try to have that up as a members video, hopefully maybe by Friday if I get it put together, and then it would go public the following week. So I'll see how things go. I have so many videos I need to work on, but I will try to get that one up for you guys sometime here in the fairly near future. That way you guys will have a pretty good idea of what he'll actually get to see some of the activities, because I know it just isn't possible for you guys all to make it. I fully understand that. So super appreciative of you guys that do put the effort in and have the time to actually come make it happen. And hopefully, if it comes together and we have enough interest next year, we'll try to do it again next year. We'll just have to see how it shakes out. So anyway, that I think is pretty much a recap of what happened this weekend, I think. Oh, trivia. We didn't talk about trivia. Trivia went great last night at Dry Lake Brewing. It was awesome. A lot of you guys were signing and playing. I don't know if any of you guys got on. I didn't get the link put up until right before it started because I didn't get it until right before it started. So Ryan just got it to me. It was a completely new system for him. So he was trying to figure it out, trying to make sure it all worked. It went very well. The system did work well. Yeah, I know, Pete. They did automotive trivia because they knew we were going to be there. Ryan set it all up that way. And the top three places were people out on the floor in the regular bar area. So so that happens sometimes. Oh, I didn't know you guys went over to Lumpy's to eat, Austin. I didn't realize you snuck over there. Did it work? I didn't realize. I wish I'd have known you were over there because then I could have told Ryan whether it worked. So did it work okay from over there? Because I'm not, I'm kind of curious myself how well it worked. Oh, it did work perfect. And if any of you guys were trying to play from wherever you're located, please let me know if it worked or if you had problems so I can let Ryan know. Because like I said, this is a new system for him that he is just trying to get put together. Steve Hagebush did roll up here in a 66 Grand Prix, so that was pretty cool. I know a lot of guys, it's not feasible to drive your old cars, but Steve's only about an hour away, so he rolled up here in his Grand Prix, so that was cool. And just like I said, overall, I think it was a good weekend, and I think everybody had fun. So last year we had snow, this year we had rain. So if we have enough interest and we decide to do it again next year, maybe we'll have a decent day. I don't know. We'll keep our fingers crossed that maybe everything will actually come together like that. One thing about it is things did click better this year, I feel, after doing it once from last year. That's right. And that's another good point. That Grand Prix had 8 lugs on it, 3 deuces, 8 lugs. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Next year, a dirt storm. Don't say that because that does happen here. So that is a possibility. So now, everybody mark this down. If this works out next year, we do it next year, and we have a dust storm, it's Andy's fault. Andy jinxed us. So mark that down, everybody. It will be Andy's fault if we have a dust storm if we do this again. Let's have a Hudson badge anyway. After the dust storm comment, let's have both of them. Yeah, ice storms. Yeah, that would not be any fun at all. Definitely don't want an ice storm. There you go. You guys can convoy out here from up north. That's right, Eric. Knock on some wood for sure. That's right, Andy. So anyway, we'll go ahead and kind of start working through what I've got ready for this episode. Obviously, this week was kind of crazy. I did not get any cars picked up, so nothing to add on new inventory. Let's go ahead and see what you guys are throwing up on the Nobody's page right now. Lots of stuff from Pate, Jason, Pete posting stuff from their road trips to Pate, which is great. That's perfect. You know, that's what that page is for. Nick posting stuff on Nick Squire's on vacation this week. He's local and couldn't make it, but they already had a trip planned for this weekend, so I knew he wasn't going to be here, which kind of stinks. But like I said, I just know it just doesn't work for everybody. That's just how it happens sometimes. But lots of great swap meet posts. You can see Luke trying to get food from me. Glenn threw that up. See the Centurion coming together on there too. So, like I said, great. Oh, and I don't know where Loader Mike was at. He must have been messing with that Chevelle because he posted pictures of that heavy Chevy he just got, but never did catch up with him this week. So, oh, and the funny part about it was the picture of Jess up on the lift in the Navigator. Yeah, I know, Nick. I know you wanted to be here, but I know you had vacation plans, so you definitely got to do that. But a hilarious picture of Jess up on the lift in the Navigator. I wanted to leave her up there, but the problem was we could still hear her cackling from up there. That's right, Boo Jess. Tractor Mike's got to get a Boo Jess in there. Up on the lift. Thought we had her out of the way, and you still hear nying, 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 nying. YouTube won't give an option to upgrade memberships. Huh. That's weird. I don't know if you have to like cancel one and then start another one. Has anybody ever run into that? I think one or two you guys have upgraded over time. So let me know if that's the case. If any of you guys went from one step to the next and had any issues with it. Eric's having a problem with that. I don't know how it works, but let me know if any of you guys have run into that trying to upgrade memberships to the next tier. So anyway, the Nobody's page on Facebook. If you're not on there, get on there. All the cool stuff that you guys were posting on your trips this week, working your way up here. A lot of cool stuff. Even build this Kia on the side of the road with the hood open. Did Chevy make a 3-door Centurion like Ford? They did make Chevy made a factory late 60s Suburban that was a 3-door. Journeyman Randy's here. So that is a factory truck, Andy. Chevy did make those, a 3-door Suburban in the late 60s, early 70s. So get on the Nobody's page. You guys had a ton of great stuff on there this week. I mean, post after post after post, which is what that page is for. So it's awesome that you guys are utilizing that. We've got 106 members on there. So so definitely get on there if you're not on there. Take one of Bill's trucks to Yep, definitely have to do that next time. I think they just didn't think it was relevant to put a 4th door on it. They figured all you needed was the passenger side door. But yeah, that's how they made them. That's how they came. So like I said, definitely get on that Nobody's page. Drink to the Hudson badge. Join the page. Get your friends to join the page, and have some fun on there. Like I said, tons and tons of posts this week. It was great. Anyway, like I said, promo model badge, cap, brochure. Obviously, we got some cool brochures to check out, so we got one of those pulled out tonight. Raffle. I was going to do the raffle tonight. I had some of you guys pay for some raffle ticket entries this weekend. Did not have time to get those ready, so we're going to give this stuff away next week. So just wanted to throw that out there too. I was going to try to do it tonight. Didn't have time to get the last batch of entries in from this weekend, so we'll do those next week. So on to the promo model. This one, another one that is not too exciting, but condition is absolutely amazing. Thought you did so you couldn't open the door into traffic. I guess that would make sense too if you were hauling kids or something. I ended up with a few of these. Hey, there's John Anderson with us at the Chevy dealer promo auction. This one and one more to catch. We've got a lot of super cool stuff coming up on the Chevy promo model stuff. That's what Baylor says, so somebody didn't get run over on the street side too. Okay, that makes sense. But tonight's promo, like I said, we're still working through these Chevrolets. I've got a couple of these more plain ones that we're going to check out, but the condition is still amazing, even though it is another 2+2 Monza. This one in kind of a light metallic brown. This one is a 79 Monza. And there again, even though these are the Monzas, they're not the most desirable ones or exciting ones. Condition on these things, once again, just absolutely outstanding. This is another one that was painted. We can see the metallic brown color on it. It even has some kind of gold to it. But when we look at the bottom, it is definitely cast in a different shade of brown. That's right, Buick, man. Condition is great. We've got some killer stuff coming up. Actually, the next several weeks... Yeah, Mike was busting Pete's chops for looking at the promos. Don't touch those. You're going to break them. Don't touch those. You're going to break them. You Arkansas guys are going to break them. So I was looking and I was trying to get stuff ready, but I was thinking, man, I grabbed this one tonight, but I'm looking at the next batch of the rest of these promos that are coming up, and you guys are going to lose your minds on some of these promos that are coming up. But this one still condition is great. The Auburn head. Oh, that was a cord head, actually. 3637 cord head. Austin got it. Of course, just like everything else cool. Austin got it. If it's cool, Austin ends up with it. I don't know how that happens. 2 years in a row. So there again, nice detailed interior. You can see the bucket seats. Dirty's mom had one. And there again, even though just popping out a Monza promo, even though it's kind of a more mundane car, still a lot of great comments about the Monzas and the memories it brings back. So this little 79 promo, obviously in excellent condition, just like the others, and not a bad little piece. So next time I go down there, I'll see if if they've changed another set of those heads. I might be able to get another one or a couple of them. We'll find out next time I go down to Auburn Court Duesenberg. But if you guys would like to add one of those heads to your collection, next time I'm down there, I'll check and see if there again, if they're bad because they're replacing them because they have corrosion. But they're a great man cave piece because no one will ever get them. Anybody that shows up at your garage or your man cave, no one will know what that head is. You can tell it's a flathead V8, but no one will ever get it. So that's what makes it cool. So, yep, if you guys are interested in some, I can always check next time I get down there to see if they've got some more. Yes, the Buick Skyhawk was the same thing. Buick Skyhawk, Oldsmobile Starfire, Pontiac Sunbird, and Chevrolet Monza, all the same platform. Basically the same car with the exception of some trim, grills. Shoot, I think even the lights were all the same. I think it was literally they changed the nose and a few emblems. So there we have the promo for tonight, the 1979 Chevy Monza. But like I was starting to talk about earlier, just a little bit ago before we got into the promo too deep, I was going through some stuff, looking at some of this sales literature, which I've barely even scratched the surface on, looking at what's coming up on sales literature, looking at what's coming up on some of these Chevy promos. And guys, these next several weeks, we're going to have some absolute knock your socks off promos and literature. So keep that in mind. Some of it was laying there and I was like, I don't really want to do it tonight. I'm in a hurry. I'm kind of rushed trying to get things ready after this weekend. So I was like, I'm going to put those off when I got a little bit more time to do a little bit more research and make sure we do them right. But man, we've got some amazing stuff coming up. So anyway, let's catch a badge, a cap, a brochure. Tonight's badge, this one's a little bit different. This is a late 60s, kind of the old flat windshield Chevy van. Nobody went to jail that I know of. Nobody called me for bail money, so that was a win, Eric. Thanks for bringing that up. That is actually a very good question with this group. Especially considering Tractor Mike did show up last night, and nobody still went to jail. So this is off of a mid to late 60s, the little flat windshield Chevy vans. I think this went right behind the door. Start singing the song. This is a pot metal emblem, flat mount with studs. It has kind of a brushed finish here with black letters. Then it had chrome finish on the van, and this ribbed area was originally black. So kind of a neat piece. Nice chrome. There goes the hearts. And it is about 9 1/4 inches. Dispatch Brian, $30 or $300? I think it's $30. So kind of a neat piece. Pretty decent shape. Kind of a cool emblem. You're starting us off at $30. Are we going to sell it? Are we going to sell the Chevy van emblem? I got the auction pad right here. We're going to sell it? We're going to sell it? Big Job says we're going to sell it. All right. Let's get this thing on the timer. Brian Dispatch at 30. Balin Wire at 35. On the Chevy van badge. Here we go. The timer is started. We're going 90 seconds. I'll tell you when we hit 30 seconds. I'll tell you when we hit 60 seconds. Balin Wire at 35. Brian Dispatch at 40. As we're ticking away on the Chevy van badge. Said, sweet, John. Glad you had fun. Yeah, no kidding. Balin. That's a good question, Austin. Balin Wire has money left after the auction. 30 seconds have now passed. 60 seconds left to go. On the Chevy van emblem, I've got Brian Dispatch at 40. Nice chrome edge. Got a few pits in it, but nothing super serious. On the Chevy van badge. Like I said, a little over 9 long, about 1 inch high. Just kind of a nice, cool piece. This Brian Dispatch at 40. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Brian Dispatch at 40. Getting close to the end of this, about ready to wrap it up. We might be done. That escalated pretty quickly. It's a nice piece, don't get me wrong, but that escalated pretty quickly. That's right, Glenn. You don't ever see these things anymore. They used to be pretty common. Just about ready to wrap it up. Few seconds left. And that does it. Brian Dispatch at 40. We'll put that with his Buick cap. All right. Well, I guess that takes care of the emblem, right? Still need a Hudson cap, like a Hudson grease cap. I don't know if I got an extra one of those this weekend or not. We got a Hudson badge. I do know that much. Well, I guess that brings us to the cap. We grab the hubcap for tonight. This is kind of a unique one. Not a very common manufacturer that you see a lot of. This one is from the late 40s. From a lesser known company. From a guy that actually made his money in various different things, actually. Huge government contracts. Heavily involved with the development and building of the Hoover Dam. However, where he really made his money, during World War II, building Liberty ships. Yes, a cap from Henry's car itself, the Kaiser. The big K on it. This one has a big stamp K that was originally black the way it looks. It is cool. It's serrated kind of around the edges here. This one is just a display cap. It's rusty on the back, so it's not anything that, you would ever use on a car. But the front of this thing still displays nice, has a cool look to it, kind of a step-down look with a serrated edge. There goes the hearts. The K's have got about half the plaque left in it. That's right, John. The edge is super cool. Yeah, I never thought about it watching it going down the road. That's a good point, Glenn. And it's got, like I said, you could repaint the black and really make it pop, or either way, it's still got a nice bright shine. It's not beat up too bad. Kind of a neat looking cap, kind of different. This particular cap, Kevin L at 25, is 10 inches in diameter across here. It would make kind of a neat clock with it right in the middle of the K. So are we supposed to sell this one too, guys? Are we selling this one? Kevin L starting us at 25 on the Kaiser cap. I guess you guys want to buy this one. You can see the reflection of it. We can see Facebook right over there. Do we sell the Kaiser cap? 10 inches in diameter, serrated edge around the side. There goes the hearts. What do you guys think? I still got the auction pad out here. Big Job says sell it. So we're going to sell it. Kevin L at 25. Let's start the timer on the Kaiser cap. Here we go. We are live on the timer. Kevin L at 25. Sniper time. It could be Leo. This is a pretty cool piece. On the cap from Henry Kaiser, the shipbuilder. Kevin L at 25. Yeah, maybe Kevin's the only one that wanted it. I know we're coming up on the 30-second mark. There's 30 seconds. I've got Kevin L at 25. So we're just marking to Kevin L, or what are we going to do here? Late 40s, I believe, is what this would have been. Possibly 50, 51, 52, but I think this was late 40s, not 100% sure. But they didn't make them many more years than that. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Kevin L at 25. It's like a bottle cap. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Kevin L at 25. He may have had a good enough bid to scare everybody off right out of the gate. Eric, 26. Kevin Brown, 34. Pete, 27. Kevin at 34. We got a little bit of time left. We're getting close to the end. Kevin at 34. John, 28. Kevin L, 35. Gary, 41. Kevin Brown, 40. And that does it. Gary at 41. That one was fun. Gary at 41. That is a neat piece. No doubt about it. I guess while we're rolling, we want to do a couple more auction pieces. Let me just grab the auction stuff. Let's just knock out a few more pieces before we do the brochure, and then we'll do a few more pieces after the brochure. You guys good with that? Yeah. I don't even think I got done asking the question, and Big Job had yes up there. Yes, you're a great kitty. You're a great kitty. You want to come say hi? You do? Come here. Oh, come here. Great kitty, let go. Come here. Yes, you going to say hi to everybody? Yes, you're a great kitty. You're a great kitty. Look, everybody wants to say hi to Great Kitty. You're a great kitty. Yes, hi. Hey, there's Tweely D. All right, here, go sit down. I got to get the auction boxes ready. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. 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 Oh, yeah, it did. It just about locked up. It just about locked up. I was like, oh, no, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. And I got it worked out. Whew. That was close. All right. I got a few things ready today. I don't even know what some of the rest of this stuff is, but we're going to dig through some of it. Like I said, I know I got a handful of stuff ready, and I don't know what else I've got in the boxes. So how about this? Let's just do this. It's laying right here. We haven't done a plate yet tonight. The last batch of plates that I bought, there was another crate full of them. Yeah. You thought I got attacked by you. Yes. They said I got attacked by you. And there were some other states in there that we hadn't even gotten into yet. So we got some different plates. This one, not super old, but of course it's over 50 years old, but it is kind of cool. We haven't done any of these, so it's something a little bit different. So let's squeeze this plate in. I got some other cool plates tonight as well. A couple of different grease caps. So let's have some fun with this. This one, Montana, Big Sky Country from 1972, has the whole outline of the state on the plate. It is a full rectangular plate, but they actually have the entire state stamped in it. It is an all embossed plate, but it is printed on coating on the front because the back is just bare metal. But a good looking plate with white background, kind of a nice bright blue letters and numbers. Gary 6, and the Big Sky Country is all embossed into the plate. Eric 15. So I just thought it was just kind of a good looking plate based on the colors and the shape and everything. Let's get this thing rolling. Eric at 15. Dirty 45. Like I said, got a few different states tonight that we haven't done before. Or not in recent history, at least. Dirty at 45. We're going for the knockout punch early. Battery fat finger to key. But let's see. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Oh, Dirty needs a 72. So he's going for the knockout punch right out of the gate. Well, 1 minute's gone. 30 seconds left to see if anybody wants to challenge Dirty, but I think Dirty's pretty serious about the project. You go for a knockout punch in the first 15 seconds. It's pretty serious. Just go ahead and call it. Yeah. I would, but you never know. Somebody else needs it as well. So we go ahead and let it run out. We're about done. We got a few seconds left to go anyway. White flag. Yeah, that's what I figured. And that does it. That wraps it up, which is what we figured. Dirty needed it. Dirty went out there with a bazooka and made a point right out of the gate. So that worked out pretty well for you, Dirty. So if you were actually looking for one of those, how shocked were you when I held that up? All right, let's catch a grease cap. We've done one of these before. This is fresh meat. Just got it yesterday in the boxes of grease caps. Have not even had time to go through them. But this one, I know we've done one in the past. This one is whammied, but it has a great graphic in it. Randy with the Nut Farm might have gotten one before, so that means some of you other guys may have a shot at this. Sounds great, Brett. Glad you made it back. This grease cap is a really cool one. It's whammied up here on this edge, but it has an amazing graphic, and the graphic looks pretty good. I know you guys are going to remember this thing because check out these wings with the wheel in the middle of it. And that looks really good. I'm going to try to show it on both cameras up close so you guys can get some of the detail on it. Over on Facebook as well, I'm trying to get it up close so you guys can see what we're talking about on the detail on this particular cap. This is a smaller one. 2 3/8 across the back, overall diameter. And about 1 3/4 inches tall. So this is a smaller grease cap and about just under 2 inches across the hex. So who remembers this one? Anybody remember? We've done one before, but it's been a while. Is everybody stumped? Everybody stumped, or the chat is locked up or something. Kenny remembers it. Okay. This was yep, that's right, Pete. It is a Chevrolet, a mid-20s Chevrolet cap. So, like I said, this one's banged up a little bit around the hex. This literally came from the auction yesterday. There will be more out of those boxes, but this one, I got this one and another one that there were 2 of in the box. But because the other ones I've got to sort through them and spend some time with them and see what we've got. But for now, we will sell this Chevy fresh from yesterday's auction, and we'll see if we get to the other one that I've got laid out as well. So who's going to get us rolling on the Chevrolet grease cap? It does. That's exactly kind of what I thought, Eric. It does look similar to the Indy logo with the wing. And look at the pattern in those wings. Can you guys see the pattern in the wings themselves? It's really crazy how detailed they got this thing. Try to see if the guys on Facebook see it. So good looking piece. Eric, 35. No problem, Jeff. I understand. Let's get this thing rolling. Eric at 35 on the little Chevy grease cap. That might be another knockout punch right out of the gate. Eric at 35. Live and on the timer, coming up on the 30-second mark. Internal threads like all these were, but a pretty unique little cap. That's right, big job. Another one right in the kisser. That's right. We'll find out here in about 45 seconds. We're about halfway through, Eric. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. So we'll find out here shortly. Might get interesting. You never know. Hey, there's Sam. And that does it. You got it, Eric. Knockout punch right out of the gate. You kept everybody off of it, and you got it done. Cream City Pete had a 50 in there. Oh, you got lucky. It was too late, but he had one hanging in there. It just didn't get there. Since you guys were talking about the cord head, I actually, like I said, I just grabbed these boxes. I threw some things on top today, but I forgot I had these in the box. If you guys are interested in these from Auburn Cord Duesenberg, we've done a few of these in the past. We haven't done any in a long time. I don't know if I've got any more left. There may be some more of these there I might be able to get next time. But we'll go ahead and do these as well. Then we'll get into the brochure. Then we'll do some more auction stuff here after a while. So if you guys are excited about the Auburn head, the cord head that, of course, Austin got. If it's cool, we just assume it went to Austin, right? We'll go ahead and do these. Piston rings. These are new old stock. Yeah, I understand, Sam. I understand it doesn't always work out for everybody. New old stock, Auburn Cord Duesenberg, perfect circle piston rings. The rings aren't good for much, but this is talk about a killer man cave piece. These are still in here. In the package, 3 1/16 inch in diameter. So these are small. I don't know how many are in here. Okay, there's 8 of them. So there is a set of 8 new rings in here, which aren't really good for anything, but they are a cool piece. So I'll see if I can get another head next time, but for right now, these are laying here. So we'll throw these in to tonight's auction. New old stock, perfect circle piston rings from Auburn Cord Duesenberg. Don't have any idea, Pete. No clue. The box is 4 3/8 square. Says perfect circle on the top. Says perfect circle on the back. On the Auburn Cord Duesenberg ring set. Let's get this on the timer. Let's see who's going to get rolling on it. Kick us off on the Auburn Cord Duesenberg rings. Hey, there's Michael Brown. Tractor Mike at 10. Eric at 10. Gary at 5. Tractor Mike was first at 10. I don't think that's going to hold anyway, even though him and Eric got hung up there right out of the gate. Dennis at 20. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Oh, that was Pete's dad. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, Dennis at 20. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Ticking away, coming out of the end. I've got Dennis at 20. Eric, 21. And that does it. Eric at 21. Eric on a roll. Oh, speaking of which, guys, I did change shipping services. I have no addresses saved anymore. So I got away from ShipStation. Some of you guys have said pirate ship, so I'm trying that now. So I have no records of anything. I might be able to actually access it for a few more days, but I think at the end of the month, I won't even have access to any of the stuff on ShipStation. So some of you guys on here have recommended pirate ship, so I'm going to give that a shot and try it. Let's catch a sales brochure, then we'll auction some more stuff off. We still got some cool stuff to go, so. And obviously, we have a lot of absolutely amazing sales literature to spend some quality time with. Pappy's going to jump off. Glad you were able to get on tonight, Pappy. Everybody that was here, we got all their caps and mugs out to them. Everybody was happy. Awesome. Super excited about that. Thanks to you for getting those out to us in time. Hudson badge. Now, if you guys missed Toy Tuesday a couple weeks ago, you might want to go back and check it out. I bought an absolutely knockout collection of sales literature. I've got a whole bunch of stuff back there that's yours, Big Job. But I've got to see if I can find your address because it wasn't on your last couple of slips. So, and since I'm out of ShipStation, I've either get it to me or I've got to go back through PayPal and try to find it somewhere. So, but no, I've got a whole box for you back there, Big Job. Sounds good. Thanks. And I don't know if Pirate Ship is going to save that stuff or not. I haven't used it enough to know if Pirate Ship is going to save the addresses, by name or not. So, but yep. So we've got a lot of absolutely killer sales brochures to spend a lot of quality time with. And there again, just seeing some of the stuff that's in there. Some of the stuff in there, I'm going to just do episodes on, I think. Maybe we go back to Monday night episode that's sales brochures. I don't know. We actually will have a Monday night episode for you guys tomorrow night. Jim Wicks sent me some stuff from Houston. I did not go to Meekum, Houston, but he had somebody help him shoot some content. I've got one of those ready that went up to members last Monday, so you guys will have a public video tomorrow night as well. I've got one more from Wicks on a Boss 429. I may try to get that up for next Monday night, and maybe we start doing some brochure videos on Monday night on some of the really cool stuff. But we have literally hundreds, if not thousands of them to work through on Sunday night. So no chance of not having enough for Sunday nights. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. The all-new 1955 Plymouth, a completely new car in the lowest priced field. This is kind of a long, slender brochure. The cover car, if we open this up and expand it, although it is a four-door, it is in a comparable color scheme to the 55 Plymouth two-door hardtop that came into the yard last year in two-tone blue. So there goes more hearts. Let's check out a few things about the 55 Plymouth, the biggest car in Plymouth history, aglow with beauty, alive with power. Hearts and happy faces, they're pouring in. A great new car for the young at heart. A completely new car in the lowest price field with a first wraparound windshield to give true wide angle vision. Yes, literally, the wraparound windshield was such a big deal. It was an integral part of the marketing program. $20 great cars in 3 great lines. A big car, better than 10 full inches longer, lower, and wider too. The Belvedere, Savoy, and Plaza. Now, the first one, obviously the same car as what we had come into the yard last summer. The 55 Belvedere Sport Coupe, the beauty queen of its class. The car at the yard, two-tone blue, dark blue, and light blue. This one in red and black. The Belvedere four-door, just like on the cover in the two-tone blue. The Belvedere convertible in salmon and gray, it looks like. Actually, very comparable colors to what was used on the 55 Chevrolet, a very popular color combination. The Belvedere Club Sedan, the two-door post car. I don't think I've seen a 55 Plymouth convertible either. How about the Belvedere four-door Suburban? Big, powerful, and beautiful. And the Savoy, the four-door sedan and the club sedan. The Savoy, a little cheaper line, putting not quite at the big spread of a spread or layout that they use on the Belvedere. Yeah, we had a good time, Michael. Maybe next year. We'll see if it comes together, see if it works out again next year. Maybe it'll work. The Plaza four-door sedan and club sedan as well. Lots of hearts for the Plymouth brochure. Like a river of hearts. They're still flowing. This one's cool. The Plaza two-door Suburban and the Plaza Business Coupe. This long one's a little bit tricky to share with you guys. Your choice of two great power plants, the Plymouth High Fire V8 and the Plymouth Power Flow 6. Yes, Plymouth never did get a Hemi. DeSoto, Dodge, and obviously Chrysler had them. Plymouth never did get a Hemi. This was a Poly V8. The radically new Polysphere combustion chamber design conserves heat energy and turns it into more horsepower. It permits bigger valves, better breathing, resulting in still more power. The large bore short stroke pistons do not travel as far, reducing friction wear, heat loss, resulting in even more power usable to you. The High Fire is not only the most powerful, compact, and economical V8 design ever developed in the lowest price field, but it is also one of the safest engines to drive because of its tremendous acceleration, hill climbing ability, and reliability. Now, we look at that Hit the like, says Kenny. Appreciate that, Kenny. When we think about this, and it talks about this being such a powerful and efficient V8 in the lowest price field, okay? The Hi-Fire V8. Now, yeah, they had Hemis in the rate, and they had second-gen Hemis in the 60s. The first-gen Hemis, Plymouth never got one. So that's the difference. The first-gen Hemis, Plymouth never got. So the Hi-Fire V8, the thing about this being in the lowest price field and the fact that we're in 1955, that's what we have to put ourselves in. We're back in 1955, and this is a high performance or performance-oriented, lightweight V8 in the lowest price field. Now, what makes this interesting is going back to 1955, that's when Chevrolet got their V8. So this was a pretty big deal at that point. It had to be marketed and had to be marketed well. The other side to this, on this big long brochure, the chassis features in the 1955 Plymouth. What are you doing, Great Kitty? The Power Flight automatic, now even more potent with Plymouth Power. This matchless, no-clutch automatic transmission is acknowledged the finest of all fully automatic transmissions, regardless of price. Plymouth Plus Power features. Plymouth full-time power steering, Easy Glide power seats, power brakes, power windows. Check out the options for the 55 Plymouth. And we also get into the specifications on all the Belvedere, the Savoy, and the Plaza. And that leads us back to the back cover where we show the tail of the 55 with the 55 plate on it and the young couple. A great new car for the young in heart, admiring the new 55 Plymouth. Hey, there's Mark. So there you have it, the all-new 55 Plymouth sales brochure. Like I said, this is kind of a long, skinny piece. Let me go ahead and give you dimensions on this just so you can have an idea of what we were up against as we held that up. It is 16 3/4 long and about 7 inches tall. So it's a long, slender brochure. Probably just something to make it stand out a little bit different from the basic square ones. So obviously we started doing brochures here a month or two ago. And then obviously I end up falling into this huge collection that our good friend Kerry, like I told you, I was lucky enough to get the call when he decided to downsize and let them go. They're now here. We have hundreds of these things to check out and some absolutely amazing ones that are probably going to end up worthy of their own episodes. But like I said, I found a few things that I know will work in over the next couple of weeks, as well as some of those other Chevy promos that are just absolutely killer pieces. Looking forward to it. We have had having a ton of fun with the brochures. They've been great. You guys have loved them, and we have an amazing assortment to work from now that we've acquired Kerry's collection, since he was kind enough to think about me and recall me when he decided to let him go. I have not heard anything out of either one of those in a long time, actually. Big Job, that's a good question. I know Mark, but that's been several months ago. I know he had some other meetings that ended up getting scheduled on Sunday evenings, and he was watching after the fact, and he would jump on occasionally, but have not heard anything out of him in several months, and nor either Norma. I have not heard anything out of Norma in a long time either. That does not sound like any fun at all, Mark. I hope everything is going well for you. So definitely looking forward to a ton more fun with sales brochures. How about some more auction stuff, guys? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let's do another cap. Ready for another cap? We got a cap. We got some good plates. We gather some of this up. Kind of get my wits about me here. Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. All right. All right. How about a Pontiac? I don't think we've done a Pontiac cap in a while. This is about a 60, 61, 62. On this Pontiac cap, this thing has amazing chrome on it. Super shiny, has the serrated edge, has kind of these hash marks kind of breaking the cap into 3 separate areas. This one has great, nice, shiny chrome, few dings and dents. The back of this one also has some rust in it as well. But there again, it's a great wall hanger. Kind of also works as a good mirror. You comb your hair in it, comes in handy for that. Yeah, we've got a few more plates. Don't worry, Mark. We got some more plates here. We got stuff ready to go. So, good looking Pontiac cap. It is also right at 10 inches in diameter. Most of these are right around that 10-inch number. The Pontiac motor division, this is all stamped into the cap, as well as these hash marks. These are indented. They don't stick out. They're stamped into the cap. The ridge around here, and then the serrated edge is kind of like another bottle cap type look, just like the other one. Eric started us off at 10. Not helping my hair. My hair looks good. So anyway, let's get going. Eric started us off at 10 on the Pontiac cap. Gary, 11. Pete, 16. 30 seconds gone. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Cream City Pete at 16. Ticking away, coming out of the end. We got a little bit of time left. Cream City Pete at 16. Kevin Brown, 24. Pete, 21. I got Kevin at 24. Just a couple seconds left. And that does it. Kevin at 24. Pete came back at 27, but it was too late. There were just Not much time. Kevin and Pete both got those in there at about 126, 127. Tony had a 25 in there. Just not much time to do much of anything. But Kevin at 24 is who we had at the end. Plates. You guys want to do a few plates? Let's do a few plates. This one is kind of crazy to think this is 60 years old now. Yeah, you saw that one coming, didn't you? Big job. 60 years old, 1965. It's crazy to think that's 60 years old. To Colorado, the old green and white with the mountains on it. Only this one is white with green. You know, typically Colorado was green with white for a long time. For a while, they were actually white with green. The mountains down here along the bottom, the mountains are actually embossed in the plate where you can see all this stamping was done. Realistically, this plate is bent just a little bit, and it's got a little bit of surface rust, but the colors on this thing still really look pretty darn decent. I like the Colorado plates with the mountains on them. It was so iconic for so many years. You don't really see that anymore, but I know for years they used some sort of the mountains on their plates for obvious reasons. This is a standard size plate, I think, right in that 12 by 6 window. Yeah, basically your standard 12 by 6 type window. Gary starting us off at 8. This one does not say Colorful Colorado, but it does have the mountains on it with the white background with green letters and mountains. Colorado 1965. And away we go. Gary at 8, and we are, well, come on, go. We're on the timer. Didn't tap it hard enough the first time. "30 seconds gone. Gary at 8. John, 10. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Pete, 15. Gary at 11. I got Pete at 15. About ready to wind this one down. I got Pete at 15. Cream City Pete at 15. Alec at 20. And that does it. Alec had a 20 over on Facebook. Covered all of those. Alec on Facebook snuck one in there. All right, what the heck? Let's do another one. This thing is killer. Let's catch another plate. We got a cap, another emblem. We'll see what we want to do tonight. This plate I really dig. It's a 1978. It is, Alec. It is a good looking plate. That's kind of what I thought. This next one is awesome. We've done one or two similar to this. This one I had debated on, but I've got one or two more that I like better than this one. So I am going to go ahead and let one of you guys get this. This thing, I mean, I really dig it. It's 1978, so it's not crazy old. But colors are great. I almost thought it was new, and then I could see it did have a screw put in it at one point in time. And for you plate guys, this is, to me, like I said, this one I had to spend a little time with. Went through the boxes, found a couple more that I liked a little bit better than this one, so I better show it to you because I'm going to talk myself out of it. 1978 Wyoming truck with a bucking Bronco on it. Check this thing out, guys. This is embossed. They used this for a lot of years, but like up in the 80s, they were just printing it. This is stamped in the plate. Eric, 25. That's what I thought. It looks brand new, but it was screwed on to something at some point. The truck is embossed. The Wyoming is embossed. The Buck and Bronco is all embossed in the plate. And then it was printed with the colors, kind of an off-white and a cowboy brown on the front. This is a good-looking plate. Like I said, I debated on this one a lot, but there's a couple other ones that have the Buck and Bronco that I like a little bit more. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and let this one go to one of you guys, even though it is such a great piece. All right. Eric at 25, and we are live on the timer. Cream City Pete, 35. I don't know how Colorado does antique plates. I don't know that, Brian. 30 seconds gone, 60 seconds left to go. Kansas, you can register a year of manufacturer plate. I do not know if Colorado does it. I just know what Kansas law is, and I know you can in Kansas, but in Colorado, I'm not sure. Sweetwater County, Wyoming. Cream City at 35. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Taking away. We're going to see what happens. Cream City Pete, 35. Coming down to the end. John, 38. Austin, 40. Okay. It was Austin at 40. I had 3 40s in there. Austin was first. There goes the 41. Austin at 40 at the minute 30 mark. Holy cow. That was I understand, Michael. Glad you were able to stop by for a while tonight. Austin at 40 is who I had at the minute 30. Whew. That got kind of bonkers. That was very interesting, Kenny. No doubt about it. But, man, that is a great piece. I love that thing. You were ready, weren't you, Cream City? That's right. There goes Austin with another win. Okay, guys. Grease cap guys. I don't know a thing about this. This thing is really weird, really unique. We've never done anything like it. But there were 2 of them in the box I got yesterday. Yeah, in fact, I think they're done crushing. Pete, when were you there, Cream City? Thursday? Was it Wednesday or Thursday you stopped by, Pete? Pete was just there, I think, Thursday. Wednesday. They were there Wednesday. Okay. And then you say they're basically done crushing at this point? They're done crushing. They had about 100 cars left. Okay, so they are done crushing. They're all gone, other than about 100 mostly complete cars. So, yep, already done. All right, grease cap guys. This came in the box from yesterday. There are 2 of them in there. This is the rougher one. I'm going to keep the better one. I don't know that I've ever seen this grease cap. It is super cool. They ran 3 crushers for about a month. Wow. That's a lot of iron. This thing is so unique. From Rio. This one is ground down, but take a look at this thing. This has a flat spot ground on it. Yeah, the Colorado plate sold, Ryan. That one's done gone. That's going to Alec. This is a really weird grease cap. It's kind of an oval. It's not like what we're used to. It does have the hex around the outside perimeter, but this is kind of an oval shape. It is internal thread, just like all these other ones are, but it's totally different than a lot of these other grease caps that we see. Obviously, this Rio is nice and clear across the top. This Rio has part of the ground off from the damage. It is about 3 inches in diameter across here. So I don't know much about this. I know it is super cool. I know it is super unique. I know we've never sold anything like it when it comes to grease caps. It is a very heavy perimeter out around here. And is a really cool deal. It is only about 1.5 inches deep. So, very unique Rio grease cap. So, what do you guys think? Let's roll with it. Let's sell it. Let's get it on the auction block and add it to one of your collection. Fresh from yesterday's auction. Eric started us off at 10. Brand new meat. Ready to go. Fresh out of the box from yesterday's auction. You will see some of this stuff on the clips. Not these specifically, but we see the boxes at the auction where these came from. And let's get her going. Eric at 10. Yep, I've talked to the guys at Brown as well. They're great guys. So, Balin wire 15. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. When did we do the last yard walk? A month ago or so? Cream City Pete, 24. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Pete at 24. Ticking away, coming down to the end. Cream City Pete at 24. Eric, 35. And that does it. Eric at 35. Pete came back with a 36 about 2 seconds too late. Eric at 35. That's a neat piece. Yard walk. It's been a month, 6 weeks since we did a yard walk. Probably about another month is what I'm thinking, Brian, before we do another yard walk. But yeah, it is something to be thinking about that is coming up. I'll have to look back and see when we did it. It's been a little while, so I know that I do need to be thinking about, but it has been a little bit. Also, real quick, guys, it is the end of the month. So If you've got anything hanging on the auction stuff, get with me. We're at the end of April. If it is March or earlier, it will go back in the auction boxes. I've got a few things out there that are paid for that is just one small thing that, like I told you guys, I try to combine shipping as much as possible. I'll go through that, and if it's getting a little old, I'll go ahead and get it shipped, but I do try to combine shipping as much as possible. So sometimes I do hold them for a few weeks to try to get something else added to it. So, and by the way, Eric, your last box is actually on the shipping bench right now. I am going to work on some of that stuff tomorrow and try to get some of that stuff caught up. So guys, if you've got something hanging, please get with me. If you've got questions about getting me paid or whatever, just holler at me so we can get this stuff wrapped up and get it headed your way. I'll tell you what, I got something else laying here that you guys sure like the last one. We'll see if you like this one. I figured since everybody got so excited about the other one, we would go ahead and do this as well. Chevy vans, right? How about Chevy vans? Boom, look at that. Another one. This is different from the one that we just sold that is going to go to Dispatch Brian's collection, but it is off the same, I think it's off the same van, actually. The one we sold a little bit ago, this is the one we sold a little bit ago. This one obviously much larger. Yeah, no problem, Eric. Obviously, last week just got screwed up, and I'll get to work on that shipping quote on that deck lid as well. So this is the one we just sold. Now we're going to sell this one. Tony's starting us off at 10. This one does have more pitting in it, but it is not broken. Balun wire 39 coming out swinging hard. Studs are intact, but it does have more pitting. It has kind of the matte finish on these sides, and then the ribbed area with the bow tie. The bow tie was originally blue. The ribbed area was black. The Chevy van letters obviously black. This one is 11 3/4 by about 1 1/4 inches. So let's get this thing rolling. Balun wire at 39 on the larger Chevy van emblem. Balun wire may come out swinging with a knockout punch right out of the gate on that one as well. So like I said, guys, now that we're through the gathering, I'll get to work back on some of this stuff and see what we need to do and make sure we get this stuff headed your direction. And if you got something old that's hanging, please get with me. Or if you think you've got something, check with me. I keep it logged here. I can let you know where we're at so we can get it taken care of. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Got real serious real quick. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Coming out of the end, I think we might be done. I don't know. That may have been a knockout punch early. We'll see. We're going to find out in just a few seconds. Big job. And that does it. I kind of figured making a statement like that, Balun wire may have taken care of that, and he did. All right, guys, I got one more plate laying here. Should I sell this plate that's laying here, or should we go ahead and move on and wrap things up? Let's have a Hudson badge regardless. So, okay. We can do that. I got kind of a funky cap here too. Maybe we can do this cap as well. Do two more, guys, and we'll wrap it up. Oh, need one for a gag gift. Perfect. Everybody wants more. Okay, we'll do two more things. That's going to put us up on about the 2 hour mark. We'll probably go ahead and get ready to wind things down after that. and save some cool stuff for next week as well. We've got some more cool caps, more cool plates, but we'll get you catch a couple more. We haven't done any early plates tonight, so let's go ahead and definitely do one of those. Sweet. Let's check it out. I still got the Nobody's page up over here. Okay, it hasn't popped up here yet. I thought it was going to pop up. I'm sure we'll see it here shortly. Hey, 107 members in the Nobody's group. There it is. Huge shout out to Rico for his artwork on that piece. Awesome. Lots of likes popping up on it. That group, that page has been so great for support. Huge shout out to Zach and Andy for putting that page together and managing it for us so we can all enjoy it. So let's go back. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's get a little earlier on plates. Not going to go back quite 100 years. We're only going to go back back 96 years to 1929. 1929 plate from the Rust Belt, and it still looks this good. Yes, a 1929 Minnesota. This is one of the narrower, skinnier ones. This is original. It's flat, black, white letters. 14 3/8 by 4 3/8 on dimensions. Back of this thing looks just good as good as the front. Now, yeah, I know it's amazing for a Minnesota plate. Now, there's something on the back of this that I want to share with you guys that I noticed when I was cleaning this plate up that makes me think why it is in such good shape. This says Pete Madsen, Tyler, and it looks like it says 3 of 59. I hope you guys are going to be able to read this. Pete Madsen, Tyler, March 59. So, who knows what that means? Was this guy a plate collector back in the 50s and saved this plate when it was still in good condition and put it into a private collection? Who knows? Complete speculation. But it's kind of cool seeing these old notes on the back of some of this stuff. Tweedly D at 15. But just, I mean, there again, for a 96-year-old plate, absolutely knockout piece. So let's get this thing on the timer on the 1929 Minnesota. Oh, okay. Didn't know that, Matt. Let's see if I can make it out. I think that's what it is. Cream City Pete, 45. Just past the 30-second mark, heading up towards the 1 minute mark. Cream City Pete at 45. It would be kind of cool if there was a tie in there, though, wouldn't it, Matt? Yeah. Bushes are rustling. 1 minute gone. Annette Funicello's dad. Cream City at 45. Girl, Cream City's got sniped a few times tonight. Let's see if he sneaks out of here with this one. Few seconds left. And he got her done. Cream City Pete at 45. Didn't get sniped on that one. Congratulations to Pete City. Eric had one in there, though. It just didn't get there in time. Almost got sniped, but Cream City got away with that one at 45. All right, let's catch one more hubcap, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to wind things down for tonight. Since you guys are having fun, we'll do one more. I'm not sure exactly what this one is. I know about what it is, but I don't remember exactly. This is about a 60-61 era Mopar cap, maybe like a 60 Valiant, something like that. But it's a really funky looking cap. That's why I think it's cool. That's why I hope you guys dig it. It is a stainless cap. Like I said, I think it's 60-61 Mopar. But check this thing out. I don't know if they're supposed to be like little Earths. I don't know if they're supposed to be like little spaceships. But it is super funky. That one's for Pete's dad. Awesome, Pete. Glad you got it. This is all stamped in here. It is an embossed plate. This is a stainless cap, and all these little things are stamped in it. I think, like I said, I think it's early 60s Mopar. It is really weird. It is really unique. But that's the whole point of decorating your man cave with stuff. You know, nobody wants to decorate their man cave with a geocap, you know. Something cool and funky like this, conversation pieces. That's the entire point. You know, I don't know. Eric started us off at 10. I don't know when we'll do another all-night auction. It's kind of working good, kind of mixing pieces in throughout the night. So we'll see how that goes as to whether or not we're going to do like a full night of auctions. But this will be the last piece for tonight. Since it is we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I'm getting tired. Gary at 12. And I know a lot of you guys are tired from driving home today as well. So, like I said, I think this was like 60-61 Valiant, maybe some other Mopars of that era. But it's really funky with all these little designs in it. Let's get this thing on the timer. We got Gary at 12, and away we go. Not for sure, Tim. 62 Plymouth. Okay, thanks, Pete. We'll have to, next year, we'll have to talk about the date again. And maybe early June maybe works better next year, Tim. As of right now, 30 seconds gone, 60 seconds left to go. This weekend seemed to be the best choice at the time. Cream City at 26. But we can always play with the date, Tim, and see what works. If they ever get big enough where they fill immediately, maybe we go to 2 a year. But as of right now, I don't see doing another one until roughly this time next year. But we can always play with the dates and see if we can make something happen. We want to try to be as accommodating as we can to most people. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Cream City Pete at 26. But it's tough to make everybody happy, but we sure try. So, Tim, make sure you hang in there with us. And when we get talking about next year, let's see what we can make work. Eric at 28. Spain Howard. He's on the Cream City at 32. And that got it done. Kevin had a 38 that came in at 131. Cream City got it by about a half a second. Woo, that was tight. Cream City got it by like half a second. He was taking another shot, but it was too late. Kevin's came in just a hair too late. Cream City at 32. I see. That makes sense, Tim. Brett's jumping off. Get some rest, buddies. You can get on the road tomorrow. Sounds good, Pete. And maybe next year, maybe that's an idea. Obviously, mid-May is crazy. Maybe we can shoot for something right at the end of May, maybe first weekend in June, something like that, and see if that weekend works better for everybody. We've tried to stay just back of May the last 2 years just because of the end of school and graduations and things like that. So maybe the last weekend in May or first weekend in June might be a good idea next year, Tim. So just keep that in mind and remind us when we start talking about it next year. We'll see what works. So the discussion for next year, will probably start right at the end of the year. We get into November, December. That's when we'll be making the decisions for whether or not we're going to go ahead and do a third annual gathering of the Nobodies next year and see how that works. But that would be, when that conversation is going to happen would be sometime right in that. We'll start talking about it in November. And by the end of the year, we'd like to have the date nailed down if we're going to do it again. So anyway, with that, guys, I think we'll get ready to wind things up. Like I said, stay tuned. We will have a Monday night video since I've got that extra content from Wix. We may start doing some sales brochures on Monday night. Tuesday night, Tuesday night, we will do Toy Tuesday. We've got another viewer pack. Wednesday, we'll get some new content out. I can't remember what is exactly coming for you guys because this whole week has been kind of a blur. But I will try to hopefully have awesome Austin. And we will do the raffle drawing next week. Like I said, I wanted to do it tonight, but just didn't quite get that far to get those last few entries in. And I figure we can push it off till next week. We'll make it work. So perfect, Tim. Awesome. It's a great page. It's been a great group and it's working out well. So glad that you got on there. All right, there we got Tim on there. Perfect. 76 Charger. Awesome. That's true. Yeah, we'll definitely do a Christmas night auction. We'll definitely try to squeeze that in right there at the end of November, 1st of December. So we can, we'll definitely do something like that like we've done in the past. For all of us that are shopping for other people for Christmas, yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and start winding things down tonight, guys. Once again, I appreciate you being here, hanging out. Sounds good, Pete. Glad you made it. It was awesome meeting you guys. And get things ready for this week. Like I said, Wednesday night, if we get all this stuff put together with Reynolds, maybe me, Neil Sabo, and myself will be on the Bang Shift podcast Wednesday night live. So keep that in mind. I'll try to put a post up if that's going to work. We will get a video up that night as well. And that's right, John. Thanks to all who helped out. It was a great time. It doesn't happen without a lot of work and all the help from you guys and, Pete, especially managing the email list, keeping track of all that stuff for the last several months was a huge help. All you guys that came and helped, it was a great time. And that's what makes this thing work. Thanks for coming out, Kenny. It was great meeting you as well. Have a safe trip back tomorrow. I hope everything goes well I hope everything goes way better with your flights back than what they did coming out. So thanks, Bale and Wire. I'm super glad you made it this year. I know you wanted to come last year and it didn't work. So I'm glad you made it this year. Hey, there's Copper Wire jumping in for a minute. Too bad you couldn't make it out this year. Actually, it's probably a good thing you didn't make it because there wouldn't have been room for you to ride home in the truck. Thanks big job to Johnny Carson comments. That's still it's very flattering that you guys think that what we do here is of any sort of quality, much less quality to be compared with some of the greats. So those comments are great. I definitely appreciate those as well. Like I said, we will be on Tuesday night, and then we'll see how this week goes. Hey, you never know, Matt. You never know how things work and how schedules work, but we'll see what, like I said, at the end of this year, we'll start having that discussion and get everybody's opinion if it looks like we've got enough interest to do another one and what the best time might be to do it. So that's right, Glenn. I'm glad you made it as well. Nobody brought Janet. No one. No one found Janet and brought her to the gathering. Very disappointed. Hey, there's Steve. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Big Job found an awesome clip. I don't even think we could find it anymore on the Facebook page about when Johnny Carson was going to replace Ed McMahon with a model named Janet. So it's been kind of an ongoing joke ever since then. Yet, no one brought Janet to the gathering. Maybe next year. We'll see. However, you will still notice Heather survived. Nobody got out of here with Heather. I think Pete Winters was sneaking in here, but I think Tractor Mike caught him. But nah, just kidding. But Heather survived. We've still got her. Oh, Bill Disc got her. There you go. Pete almost did. Yeah, Austin seen him coming in after it. Great Kitty, what are you doing? All right, guys. I think we'll go ahead and wind it up. I appreciate you guys coming by tonight. Huge thanks and shout out to everybody that did show up. Thanks to all you guys supporting us in spirit, following along on the Nobody's page, catching up with the videos. We'll try. Like I said, I'm going to try to get that video up here soon so that you guys that couldn't make it can get a glimpse of what we did this weekend. Great time. Great seeing all you guys, meeting some of you in person for the first time. Had a great lunch. Got to go to an auction. Got to check out a bunch of cool old iron. Win, win, win. Other than having to deal with a little bit of rain, the whole weekend was pretty much a win. So thanks to all you guys for supporting what we do. You bet, Kenny. Thank you for coming. And hope you enjoy your long distance pin. That's right. Balin Wire did shoot some content as well. So if you're not on Balin Wire's old iron, be sure to check that out. He got some auction content. How did you have time to shoot anything, Balin Wire? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Your hand was doing this like all morning, the whole time we were there. I don't know how you could hold your phone with your hand going like this. You'd be bouncing your phone because this is what your arm did all day. Oh, he had his brother-in-law shooting. Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Your arm was going up and down too much to be able to do too much content. So, yes, definitely check out Balin Wire's old iron. Support him as well. He supports us. Check out what he's got going. Get his content from a different perspective from what I shot of the second annual gathering of the Nobodies. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching the videos, joining the membership groups. We have a ton of fun on here. Pete and Bill Disc and I will be getting back together probably this Thursday night, maybe, since we missed last week on class. We're moving forward with the Nobody's training group. If you're interested in learning about how I do what I do, be sure to join the Nobody's Premier group with the training of what we do. So, hi, Great Kitty. Meow. Anyway, thanks for being here tonight, guys. Ton of fun. I'm going to try to get caught up a little bit from this last week. Thanks to all you guys for making this show what it is, and thanks to all of you for making the second annual Gathering of the Nobodies a success. We'll see some of you Tuesday night. If nothing else, we sure hope to see you right back here next Sunday night, same bat time, same bat channel, for more Gearhead Interactive Live Chat live on Sunday night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.